Yes, I'm Marni Hughes, and this is Missing on NewsNation. Each week, we cover missing person cases from across the country, no matter their race, religion, background, or circumstances, because we believe every missing person matters. And many of the cases we cover come from you. This week's featured case has gotten the attention of the aviation community from coast to coast. On messaging boards and air shows around the country, they're all now trying to spread the word to find Julie Vessigault, who has been missing now for 5 months. She herself is a well-known member of this aviation community. She's an enthusiast from California, and in a moment, a closer look at Julie's disappearance. You'll also be hearing from her sister and her friend. First, though, we have a few other cases we want to give you updates on. Beginning with 23-year-old Lucas Mackay. He was last heard from on Sunday, May 12th, Mother's Day, when he texted a friend to report reaching the summit of Long's Peak in Colorado. Lucas had planned to summit the mountain that weekend when dangerous storms moved into the higher elevations of the Rocky Mountain National Park. By late that night, Lucas had not checked in, and rangers confirmed his car was still parked along the trailhead. Search teams have been looking for Lucas, from the air using heat sensor technology. They have also launched ground searches in multiple locations. At the time of Lucas's disappearance, he was wearing a dark-colored shirt, tan or brown pants, khaki boots, and had a black backpack. Investigators are asking anyone who has been in that area near the trailhead and around it and may have seen Lucas to contact the Park Service tip line at 888-653-0009. David Knezovich, the estranged husband of Anna Knezovich, has been detained without bond. He was arrested in relation to Anna's disappearance and is now charged with kidnapping. Anna has been missing since February. She was living in Spain at the time as the couple was going through a divorce. David maintains that he was in Serbia at the time of Anna's disappearance. Court documents allege otherwise. He rented a vehicle and drove to Spain using a stolen license plate. The documents also say surveillance videos show a man matching Knezovich's description, buying spray paint and covering the cameras in Anna's apartment building. Anna's friends are the ones who first contacted police after receiving text messages they said did not sound like her. Here's Anna's brother speaking after David Knezovich was arrested.
She's out there somewhere. I just want to tell her that we all love her, we miss her, we support her, we're her voice.
Anna has still not been found. The family of Maria del Carmen Lopez spent another Mother's Day without her. Lopez is a U.S. citizen. She's originally from Mexico, and she was taken by armed men from her home in Pueblo Nuevo, Mexico in February of 2023. The kidnappers initially contacted the Lopez family demanding an unreasonable ransom for Maria's release. And 2 men linked to a local kidnapping ring have been arrested, but there has been no new information about Maria's whereabouts. The FBI requested permission from Mexican officials in the case to join in the investigation. They were denied. The family has now launched a website called Justice for Carmen, and they are petitioning lawmakers in the U.S. to assist in Maria's safe return.
If anybody, can go into that website, Justice for Carmen, sign the petition. It takes literally a minute or 2 to sign, but it does make a big difference to us. And so that's the goal of the petition.
On the day Maria went missing, her family says she had visited a family member's store, then she had returned home to water her plants. Out of nowhere, witnesses say a van pulled up, 3 hooded men got out, grabbed Maria, and hauled her into the van. She was yelling, "I'm not going with you." At one point, she fell to the ground. They picked her up, put her in the van, and they sped off. The family received proof of life, a call of Maria begging for her life. I spoke with Maria's daughter after her disappearance about those calls.
Mom, I'm sorry. You're very strong, and it's been over 5 months, and we have not stopped a single day. We're doing everything that we possibly can to find you. And we're not going to give up on you, Mom. We love you, your grandchildren, and all of us, your kids. We all miss you, and we're looking for you, Mom. Please hang on. We're going to find you.
That was her message to her mom. The FBI is offering a $20,000 reward in the case. Now the search for Julie Vessigault, an aviation enthusiast from California. Those who know Julie best say being in an airplane is what makes her happy. Last fall, Julie went to California to take care of her aging mom. A few months later, in January, Julie left her apartment in Elk Grove. It's south of Sacramento, and hasn't been seen since.
She created aviation to be her family.
Julie Vessigault has spent decades traveling the country from air show to air show.
Every day, if she could get into an airplane, she was happy. And if she could clean an airplane, she was happy.
She took after my dad. My dad was a huge airplane fanatic. We'd go out and listen for airplanes and then use the binoculars to find the airplanes. And he knew exactly what kind of airplane it was by the sound it made.
Last fall, Julie took some time out to visit her parents.
She made her way to California, where her parents are, at the end of October, and very quickly her dad passed away within a couple of days. And that was the first opportunity that she saw, maybe I could stay and take care of my mom.
But we knew behind the scenes that she was having a hard time getting a job. She was trying to become her mother's caretaker, and that probably wasn't going as well as she was hoping.
On January 23rd, Julie made an appointment with the DMV, but missed it.
What we were told is that she got back to the apartment, she rearranged a few things, left some things behind, got in her car and left.
Julie left behind her phone and license and took off in her Toyota Camry. Her friends say every indication was that she planned to come home. Elk Grove police posted this photo of Julie's car spotted once on a surveillance camera driving through town. Nobody has seen or heard from Julie since.
We've had people scouring every single parking lot that they could possibly think of, like especially like the mental health hospitals and Walmart, shopping centers, because she was known to sleep in her car quite a bit while she was on the road.
She slept in her car many a night. That was her life. It's very odd. We always thought she was in danger, and then she gets to a home with an apartment, and all of a sudden that's the time she goes missing.
Friends worried that maybe there was a trigger that caused Julie to take a little time away by herself. The day she disappeared was right around the 4th anniversary of her friend's son Nathan's tragic death in a small plane crash. The two were very close.
He called her Aunt Julie Poppins. We kind of named her that because Julie was the kind of person who could pull something out of nowhere and surprise everybody.
Julie was known to take time to herself, but her friends and family say she always let someone know.
What leads me to think that this is different is that anytime she's needed space, she's always put out the warning signs. I need a hug. Life is really hard right now. She would start reaching out more. None of the signs of when she's ever needed that were lining up with what she was posting.
This year's Sun and Fun air show in Lakeland, Florida was emptier without Julie.
The pilots were so accommodating. She's been in way more airplanes than I've ever flown in.
Her friend made T-shirts to get the word out and plans on distributing them at future air shows. And one friend made a musical arrangement of 2 songs Julie loved.
Some people, when they talk to me, they're like, she's a legend. Like she's one of the people that anytime an air show came through, people wanted her autograph. People wanted pictures with her.
World War II.
And it was like crazy to me. It was like, Julie?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
We need her. We need her in our community. It's a big piece missing. Big piece missing right now, and if we can just find a way to get more information out there, maybe we'll get some answers.
With us now, Julie's friend Donna Graves and Julie's sister Melanie Warden. Thank you both for being with us to talk about Julie and to take a closer look at her case in the hopes that we can provide some answers to each of you and bring Julie back home safely. Melanie, let me start with you. Is there any new information, any new leads in the search for your sister?
There's been nothing, absolutely nothing since the day that she went missing. We haven't heard anything. We haven't, the police have said anything that, any questions that we do ask as far as like her financials, they have her phone. So clearly her phone isn't been used. Her car, nothing. There's been nothing since January 23rd.
It just doesn't add up, I know, in your mind. I am curious about her car, Melanie. It was seen on that surveillance video. Has nothing of the car turned up anywhere, anytime?
Nothing.
That's a big missing piece of this puzzle.
It is.
Let me ask you, Donna, you had said at one point you don't believe that she would have left voluntarily. What makes you believe that?
Based on the things that I know of her, I've known her nearly 20 years, and she always reached out on a post stating that she needed a hug, or is there anyone able to talk? And I had her number and I would call it, and that the circumstances, just everything that's added up just doesn't seem, in my opinion, for her to have been voluntarily driving away. I just don't see that as being, at least my own personal opinion, that that's what's happened. I think something more sinister may have happened to her.
Melanie, do you believe the same, that something nefarious, something foul could have happened?
Well, I talked to her the day before, and the conversation that we had turned to God. She has a very strong sense of faith. And there was no indication whatsoever that, I knew she was struggling, but there was no indication at all that she was going to up and disappear on her own. I don't want to say yes, that's what happened, but
no, you don't want to go there in your mind. I hear you. She was very trusting, as I've listened to you both talk. Can you explain to me a little more about her personality and why she was living in her car at times, putting her in vulnerable situations? Melanie, I'll start with you on that.
Well, she never met a stranger, ever. Anywhere that she would go, she loved to start conversation with people.
I think Melanie's connection may have frozen. So Donna, I'll bring you in on that. She sounded very trusting. She loved people. Was that also something that opened her up to people who may not have been so kind?
Yes. She truly did trust everyone, even when there was possibly a reason not to trust them. She always thought the best of them. So her being in a car, that was nature, because she went from airshow to airshow, and she just made it a habit to sleep in her car. She did frequently stay with people all along the way in the aviation community. She would stay in a hangar. She'd stay at people's homes. She stayed with me a number of times. So I just think that maybe she did have someone she was helping. That's her nature. She helps, and to a fault. She tries to help people. Even if she didn't have it, she would somehow try to help someone get what they might have needed. So I do believe that perhaps that is another scenario that we could think of, that she trusted someone and that something went wrong.
I mentioned the car, the car being such a key piece of evidence. Where is her car? Her cell phone also would offer a lot of information. How closely are you all in connection with police, and has that uncovered any clues that have been helpful?
Her phone is in their possession. We, I believe, are not going to be told a lot of information, perhaps from the phone, that could maybe interfere with the investigation. So I just think that the car, I believe the plate was taken off maybe immediately. That plate should show up amongst all the other cameras in that town in the US. There's been a search for that plate, and that car just isn't recording anywhere else other than that photo that you have on the screen now.
So if the plate has been removed, is there anything else distinguishable about that car? It's a gold Camry. Do we know make and model, year?
It's a 2005 Toyota Camry, and I believe it's an XLE, which has sort of a the center console is a wood grain type of thing, so it's very distinctive from the normal Camry. So that is how I have to say I've seen many of these cars, and I always walk by and look at that inside to see if it happens to have that wood grain. There's a small bit of damage on the front left bumper in front of the driver's side. It's like one little line. I don't know if it's a crack or what it might be, but that is something that I noticed. Usually she has aviation stickers on a car, but this time I don't see that she had that many. There might be a few there on the back.
Okay. Do we know what Julie was wearing the day she went missing, once she came back to her apartment, dumped out her purse, her belongings, her phone, what she was wearing that day?
Is Melanie not with us yet?
Melanie's not. We're working to get her back.
Got it. I can almost guarantee she had a baseball cap on with an aviation, like you have so many pictures of her. That is her uniform of the day. Blue jeans, t-shirt, most likely aviation, ball cap with an aviation theme on it. That would be what I believe they do know exactly what she was wearing, because she was seen at 1 o'clock before her 1:30 time frame where they say they hadn't seen her again. But I can guarantee you that's probably what she had on.
Yeah, and I believe we have Melanie back. Melanie, can you hear me?
Okay.
Hi, Melanie. It's Marni again. What was Julie wearing the day that she was last seen? Can you recall and add to what Donna's been saying?
I was not told what she was wearing.
Okay.
I just said that it's probably her ball cap, her t-shirt, and jeans. It's like her uniform.
We all have our uniforms. Melanie, welcome back. It's nice to see you back again.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. How about conversations you had with your sister in the days and weeks prior to her disappearance? Now looking back 5 months later, anything stand out to you as being odd?
Well, so Julie and I, we were we didn't really have the most normal sister relationship for a long time, but we reconnected once my dad passed away in November, and we started getting to the point where we were having regular conversations, you know, it was great, and the conversations that I knew, you know, Julie always tried to make everything very positive. She came and she visited me a few months prior to going to California, and there wasn't really anything that I could say that stands out as far as concerning, other than I knew she was struggling. She was in a very uncomfortable state being in a home, because she was more comfortable just traveling, going anywhere, not having anything to tie herself down with.
Yeah, always on the go. Donna, how about you? What do you recall about your conversations with Julie before she vanished?
Things were very busy from October to January, as she was. A lot of our conversation was more text than talking on the phone. but I offered something for her to come stay with me, and she just had her mind made up to go to California. She definitely wanted to take care of her mom, and I could just sense through text and Facebook posts, because she was a prolific Facebook poster, especially at the time she disappeared, that all just indicated that she was having a tough time getting a driver's license in the state of California. She definitely wanted to work. She always has done some type of work to pay her way. So I just don't know. I did not see any indication that she had planned to leave on her own accord.
Yeah, it just doesn't add up. Melanie, how's your mom doing? She was there in California to take care of your mom.
My mom is really lonely. My dad my mom and dad were together for 48 years, and it's all my mom's ever known. So when Julie came, she was happy that she wasn't alone. And I know now when I talk to her, there's a sadness, but my mom was also special needs. And for her, it's difficult for her to, I guess, express. She knows Julie's gone, but it's kind of she's in her own little world too. So unless it's brought up, when it is brought up, she kind of goes, oh yeah, she's gone. So I know it affects her. It definitely affects me, and our other sister.
Yeah, it's painful. I know. Let me give you both an opportunity. If somehow, somewhere, Julie is out there and hears this and sees this, is there something that you'd like to say to her, Donna?
Definitely. Time to have more fun, more aviation experiences. I just would love to have her come stay with me again, so we could definitely just have the time of our lives like we did. And I sure am looking forward to that day when we can do that.
And Melanie, what message would you like to share with Julie?
I miss her laugh. I want to hear her laugh again.
We're thinking about you both, Melanie, to your mom, to your sister, to your entire family, and to her family of friends. Donna, please give our best to all of those who are looking for Julie at these aviation shows and across the country. Being here and sharing her story means a lot to us, and I know it means a lot to her wherever she is. And let's hope this reaches her. Thank you to you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Take care of yourselves. If you have any information that can help in the search for Julie Vessigault, contact the Elk Grove Police Department. We have that number on your screen, 916-478-8299. No piece of information is too small to share with authorities. If you can help in this case, her car, critical to this investigation. Another missing case that we are looking into is the disappearance of Bianca Carrasco. There have been some new billboards that have gone up in San Antonio. She has been missing since 2016. And this is a really mysterious case with a lot of unanswered questions. What we do know is Bianca is a wife and a doting mother. She was living in San Antonio with her husband when she went missing. Her family says the couple was struggling. Bianca had admitted to having an affair. Before she vanished, Bianca made a strange statement.
Well, if I go missing, you know what happened to me.
And the case has been cold since then. Tune in next Thursday as we search for answers into the disappearance of Bianca Carrasco. If you have a missing person case you think that we should be looking into, send it to us at newsnationnow.com/missing. As always, thank you for joining us. I'm Marni Hughes in Chicago. This is Missing, and I will see you back here next week.